Because every day has a curve and an incident spike that can make your day a good one or a bad one, depending on how you handle it. And I think that's the key, realising it's how you handle it, rather than letting it affect you. This mentality is nothing new, and is probably philosophically lined up with Stoicism more than anything else. Realising that things will go bad, and things will go well, and most of the time you can't control it. You can only control your own outlook and perception of that situation. Just thinking back to the moment I said to myself, fuck it, the night before starting my first contract, probably exemplifies this more than anything else. That night I realised there was nothing I could do about the situation I was in, and likewise, as COVID-19 has suspended all cruise lines, there is nothing I can do about that either. But I have let it get me frustrated. Staying stoic, therefore, obviously requires work, for sure, but someone once told me to visualise something on this topic, and it's really stuck with me. They said to me, imagine yourself as a cow, alone, eating grass in the rain. And I'll say that again. Imagine yourself as a cow, alone, eating grass in the rain. The guy who said this to me, I'll keep anonymous, as there's an interesting but kind of personal story behind how he first came to tell me about Stoicism and how it affected him. I used to work at a pub behind the bar while studying at Bournemouth University. There were many times I wish I didn't need that part-time bar job, and felt it was getting in the way of the true passions I had in life at the time. But in actual fact though, as I have since realised, that was another instance where I had completely the wrong mindset. Working with other fellow like-minded students and facilitating a very public-facing role where you often can't be ready for the things that will happen before a shift. I'm talking about everything from a random pretty girl giving me her number to a fat drunk man trying to fight me. This was a great experience, and often when we finished closing at 2 or 3 in the morning, we would all stay and sit around the table and drink and talk until daylight. It's like I said in the previous blog post I read, during this time I was expanding my circle of influence. On one such night, where we had all finished and were having a few drinks, we then decided to leave the pub and go to one girl's house and turn it into a kind of party. After a while though, myself and my other friend weren't really feeling it. We had lectures to go to in the morning that we thought would probably be worth attending for once. We lived in roughly the same direction, so on the long walk back, our drunk conversation turned from small talk into discussing his struggles with suicide. As you can imagine, I wasn't expecting that. Just letting him talk and being there to listen, I think helped him. And this was when he told me about the concept of Stoicism and the cow analogy. Because if you imagine, although the cow is on its own and in the rain, it still has plenty of grass to eat, and the rain falling on it now will only help to grow more grass in the future. He disclosed to me that seeing things this way really helped him to get out of a dark place, and whatever struggles he was experiencing now will only help him in the long run, and he tried to appreciate the small things he did have in the present. Once we got to a crossroads, we said see you later, and went our separate ways home. But I watched him walk away for a little while longer, wondering after what he said if he was okay just to be left alone in the night. And then, after thinking about what he said, I realised he was completely fine to be left alone.